So hi, One of the Good News Podcast here with Black Satellite. We're going to ask them some questions today. I'm going to start. So what inspired you guys to start the band, and what does the band name mean?
So there's not like some really cool story for the band name. I kind of thought of it when I was like 15. I was pretty much just sitting on my bed and I was just like, oh, what should I name this? And then it just like popped into my head.
Okay.
All right. That's fair. So congrats on your... Wait, that's right. Oh, what inspired you to start it?
So I guess just right out of the gate, I always wanted to be in a band, wanted to be a musician. Started playing guitar when I was 9. So I just always, songwriting, and Kyle had a similar background as well. So it's like there was no other plan B for me. This was like the trajectory that I wanted for my life.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah. So congrats on your newest single, Void. How do you guys feel about the response to it so far?
So it's actually just premiering today. So we're going to be super excited to, read all of the comments and, see what our fans have to say about it.
Yeah, it has been on the radio for the past 2 weeks, mainly in Europe. So that's been really awesome. So
Yeah.
That's cool.
can't wait to see what it does in the US.
Yeah. So can you guys tell me a little bit about your headspace while writing that song?
So it's obviously like a really dark song. It's kind of just, exploring the themes of being like in a weird spot mentally, but allowing that darkness to devour you anyway and almost relishing in it. So yeah, it's a very vulnerable song.
Yeah. Wow. So this single is leading up to an album. Is there anything you could tell us about that?
So the new album is called Aftermath, and it's kind of a departure from what we had set out to do with our debut album, Endless. So it's a lot more aggressive, heavier, darker, which kind of felt like the natural direction that we wanted to go in for this band. And it's kind of not, it's so the sense of the word aftermath, it's not so much, picking up or putting the pieces back together as it is kind of figuring out, okay, well, all this stuff happened to me. Who am I now because of it?
Wow. All right.
And can you tell me a little bit about your writing process for that album?
So the writing process for this album was a little bit different than the first one. We actually wrote the instrumentals and the vocals completely apart from each other. We kind of just locked ourselves in separate rooms. I'd write one of the instrumentals one day, send it over to her. She would just pop back in 2 days later with all the vocals, and we'd like listen to it together. Obviously, there'd be natural tweaks and alteration things we had to make, but it was definitely a new experience for us.
That's interesting. Okay.
Would you guys ever do that process again?
I don't know if it would happen exactly the way it did. We'd probably try to come out of our comfort zone and try something altogether new, if we were going into a third record. Because kind of the way we wrote our debut album, it was very 50-50 collaborative. It would be like a massacre if you tried to figure out who wrote what part. It was just all of us together.
Okay.
Oh, that's wonderful. Do you personally have a favorite song from the album?
Oh, it changes.
Yeah, it really
That's
does.
fair.
Like when we were writing the album, I actually really did like Void a lot. But then once we started, our live shows, it kind of grew into, different ones for me.
Yeah, for me, Void was the second one we wrote for the record.
Oh,
It was a really early on track while we were writing. But as we switched to live, I tend to gear towards more of the heavier tracks that are on the record.
They're super fun.
okay.
Yeah, they're a lot of fun. So.
All right.
Oh, that's so exciting.
Excited for that. So what band influences do you think you can hear on the newest record?
So just growing up, I listened to like a lot of like Marilyn Manson, Korn, and Deftones. And I guess Kyle.
Yeah, honestly, pretty much the same for me. A lot of Korn. Brian Head Welch's side project, Love and Death, a lot of the instrumentals came from that. So I think you can see more of like a hard rock metal vibe for this record.
All right.
Ooh, all
I'll have to
right.
check it out. I fucking love Korn. So
Yeah, he does. So, what are the top 3 songs from this album that you're looking forward to play live when shows come back, hopefully soon?
So the first track on the album is called Broken. And that's the first track we play in our live set too. And then our closer is called Deadeye, and that one is just heavy as shit, like the whole time. And it's just insane. and it's so high energy, and I just love screaming in people's faces.
Yeah, and it does fit, but also I love playing Void live. It just has some energy that we all connect with. It's a little less technical than some of the other songs, so we really get to just perform, which is always great.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, I'm so excited. Yeah.
So you guys worked with Ben Gross on this album. What was that process like?
Ben is just like the best person to work with. Like he obviously has this crazy like discography, but he never like makes it intimidating, you know, because I'm like, oh shit, I was totally fangirling out because he literally had mixed like all my favorite records. I was like, oh my God, this is such a big deal. And then he was like, I guess the first thing he was like, oh, can you send me just some like rough bounces just for levels or whatever? And I'm like freaking out. And then I was just like, oh, well, you know, I apologize. You know, I have never really mixed anything besides a martini. And he was like, oh, okay, well, you know how to mix the important things then, you know? So it's just that kind of humor that always made me feel comfortable working with him. Yeah, and he just treated us like he would treat any other one of his clients.
Well, that's good.
Oh, I'm so happy to hear that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So where do you guys see the band in the next 5 years?
All over the world.
Yes. Oh my God.
Yeah, we've been growing a lot on radio, and obviously social media has been doing really well lately. We do have some tours in the books. COVID obviously has made everything get pushed back.
I think we had like 47 dates booked, and like most of them are unannounced, and we're kind of just waiting to see, you know, like what's going to happen before we can obviously announce.
There's some really great tours. We can't tell you who they're with because they haven't been announced yet, but we're really excited. It ought to be a lot of fun.
All right.
What is announced right now is that we're touring with Fozzy, and that's scheduled for November, but we're going to see, you know, how that's going to go down.
All right. Hope you guys can go.
Yeah.
I know. We just also want to make sure that we're safe too.
Yeah, exactly. So wear a mask so they can go on tour.
I mean, I wish I could wear a mask, but then it sounds like this.
Oh, yeah.
We do actually have our own masks as well.
Yeah, we have our own Black Satellite masks.
Oh, plug.
Plug.
You'll have to see it.
Plug.
Yeah.
So for the last couple questions, we're going to shift away from music and go straight to death row. So if you're on death row, what would your last meal be with a drink?
With a drink.
With the drink. Don't forget the drink.
That's the twist, right?
Sushi, for sure. Like maybe uni.
Ooh.
Yeah, but what does prison uni taste like?
God.
Ew.
That is death row.
Left out overnight.
Like 100-year-old glass of wine that costs like $2,000.
If they provide.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Solid.
Man, it's a weird one.
It is.
I'm kind of a classic. I'd just give it like an Italian sub, obviously New York style. For a drink, just a tall glass of whiskey would be great.
Solid. So if you could live in one fictional world for a week, where would you live?
A fictional world.
Mm-hmm.
Like from a movie or a video game?
Like a movie, a book, a comic book, a TV show.
I know immediately. All right. The video game franchise Mass Effect.
Taste.
For me, man, I'd have to do something probably a little bit more, like probably like Game of Thrones. I just feel like that.
Ooh.
Oh God, but you would die like immediately.
Yeah, but it'd be cool for that like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
The 10
Wait,
minutes
what?
out of the week.
What house would you be in? I don't know if it's called houses, but like family house.
Oh man, that's a hard one. Which one's still alive?
That's a great question.
Yeah, let's pick one that's alive.
I know mine. I'm not going to shout it out until you answer.
Oh man. Which
Oh,
one
come on,
was?
don't
Which
you-
one was Jon Snow? Which one was that?
Stark.
Stark.
Mhm.
I'd probably go Stark then.
Yeah, me too.
Start. Solid.
All right.
Taste.
And, I have the honor of asking the last question, and every single person we've spoken to, it says the most important question. What is your favorite color?
I don't think
Mine's easy.
black's like a color, but probably
Thank
like
you.
a shade of blue. But it's like a specific shade. It's not like navy blue or like sky blue. It's almost like a little teal.
Okay.
Well, I'm actually pretty colorblind, so I'm gonna have to go with black because it's safe. I know which one that is. So
Valid.
All right.
So as I said, that's all the questions we have today. Is there anything you would like to plug?
I guess just start our new single Void, and we can't wait to hear what people say about it.
Yeah, we're gonna have a lyric video coming out for it in the next couple weeks, so keep an eye on.
If you like what you hear, hopefully we'll see you on tour.
Yes,
Yes.
that'd
All
be
right.
great.
Well, thank you for sitting down with us, guys. This has been Black Satellite and we're the Good Noise Podcast.